Okay, so I was on the phone with an esthetician a couple of weeks ago, and she's chatting with me, and she just had told me that she'd been on my website and she'd watched all my videos on my website. And she said to me, you know, Shelley, you have charisma. I kind of felt good about that. That was kind of cool, but I'd never thought about that about myself before. And I got me thinking, what really is charisma? And my comment back to her was, well, I think what happens with me is I have this childlike excitement when I want to share something with somebody, and that's what I think she's talking about as charisma. It's that playfulness, that excitement that comes across with people. And she began to tell me about a book that she was reading, and while I was talking to her on the phone, I actually ordered the book and got it. And I have to tell you, I mean, I'm not even through the whole thing yet, and I have more highlights in here than you can believe. I highly recommend the Charisma Myth. Okay? I actually emailed this lady, and I've never ever done that before when I've written a book, and she emailed me back, and it was kind of so exciting for her to actually email me back. In the first part of the book, she talks about Marilyn Monroe. When we think of Marilyn Monroe, we think of charisma, don't we? And don't we all think that people are born with charisma? Right? Oh, they have charisma. They're just born with that, right? No, it's not true. She was talking about how years ago Marilyn Monroe was with somebody from the press, and they went on the subways, and she was dressed in jeans, hair, no makeup, and just kind of like this on the subway. Absolutely no one bothered them whatsoever. What's her real name? Norma Jean. Okay, so on the subway she was Norma Jean, just like this. They walked up to the top of the subway and up to the stairs where all the people were walking around, and she looked at the guy from the press and she says, "You want to see her?" And he said, "Yeah." And she went, boom. And swarms of people came around her. Now she still had the same jeans, hairdo, and no makeup on, but it was her presence that all of a sudden everybody saw Marilyn. So it was like, well, how are we coming across? What's our presentation with our clients? Are we like this when we're talking to them? Do we have our chest puffed up a little bit? Do we know what we're talking about? Do we act like we know what we're talking about? There's actually 3 portions to charisma. Oh, in fact, this is kind of funny. I have a lady that does my PowerPoints for me, and I send her a page, and I just put those words up on top, and I said, "Can you fill in some fun stuff with charisma for me?" And I get it back, not knowing a thing about my book, not anything, right? She sticks that picture up there. Look what's on the front of my book. Wow. Okay, so there's 3 things with charisma. There's power. We all have the power in our estheticians, right? We have the education. We know what we're talking about when we're talking to our clients. I'm going to read this real quick, just because I think it's important. Being seen as powerful means being perceived as able to affect the world around us. So that's what you're being seen as with your aesthetic clients. Whether through influence, authority, large amounts of money, expertise, intelligence, sheer physical strength, or high social status. We look for clues of power in someone's appearance, in others' reactions to this person, and most of all, the person's body language. So, do you come across as power charisma to your clients when you're talking to them? When they get finished with that treatment, you've got them out in the front desk. Are you coming across with that power authority to them? Because you are the authority. When I first moved down here and had to find a new hairdresser, right? He was just, doing my hair, and in the midst of it, it's almost like he was talking to himself. He says, "Oh, there's this moisturizer I really think that you need to have." I bought that moisturizer, right? Because he's the authority, but he didn't say it he wasn't selling me on anything. It was almost like I said, he was talking to himself. But he was the authority, so I purchased it. So why do we get so afraid to talk to our clients about buying something? They come to us because we're the authority, right? The second one is warmth. Again on page, okay. Warmth, simply put, is goodwill towards others. Warmth tells us whether or not people want to use whatever power they have in our favor. Being seen as warm means being perceived as any of the following: benevolent, altruistic, caring, or willing to impact our world in a positive way. When you truly focus on someone else's well-being, you feel connected to them. We've been talking about that all day so far. It shows across your face, and people perceive you as someone full of warmth, and your charisma level soars. So when you're talking to that client, are you kind of actually thinking about something else, or are you really listening to them and being present, and is there a warmth across their face about what they're saying? I think we get caught up in business, on to the next one, or how much money can I get out of this client, that kind of thing, instead of really putting across a sense that you really care about this person. And then the last one is presence. Really being present. That thing I talked about earlier about people really listening, okay? How many of you checked out a couple of times today while you've been here already? Yeah, we just did. I won't be hurt.
No.
We all do. We're not really completely there. Being present means simply having a moment-to-moment awareness of what's happening. It means paying attention to what's going on rather than being caught up in our own thoughts. And then I say, how many of us have checked out? And then real quick, I wanted to read something in here about that also. So if you put all three of those together, and read this. When you're fully present, it shows in your body language in a highly charismatic, enhancing way. Being charismatic does not depend on how much time you have, but how fully present you are in each interaction. The ability to be fully present makes you stand out from the crowd. It makes you memorable. When you're fully present, even a 5-minute conversation can create a wow factor, as well as an emotional connection. The people you're with feel as if they have your full attention and that you're the most important thing in the world to them at the moment. We went through all of this morning, but I'm just kind of like, this book solidified all this to me, that especially in our business, we've got to have that connection with people and really be present.
What's the author's name?
Olivia Fox Cavani, I'm not sure how to pronounce her last name. But lovely woman that she's already emailed me back actually twice.
It was interesting because I was talking to a friend of my husband's just before Christmas. He's working on an independent documentary or something. And he, at some point, met Warren Beatty not that long ago. And he was like going on about this dude, okay? And I mean, I have to admit, Warren Beatty's never been one of my favorites, but he was talking about him like he was just this god, and I said, like, so what's the deal with this Warren Beatty guy? He said, I said, it sounds like he has a lot of charisma, He said, you wouldn't believe it. He said, I have to admit, I only had about a 5-minute conversation with him, but I said, well, I guess that's what all the women went for, right? Because Bill knows history. And he said, believe me, I was in love with him. He only met him for 5 minutes. He said that when you are talking to him, you are the only person in the room. That, he does this, lock on you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Bill Clinton, too.
That's supposed to bring up
everybody believes, Bill Clinton comes in and sucks the air out of the room, or the Kennedys. He said that Warren Beatty, apparently, and I never knew that about Warren Beatty, that he's got charisma. I mean, I would never guess it about him, just from what I've seen on talk shows or in movies. But this guy was saying, Warren Beatty has got that. You can't believe. It's just like that.
So
He,
how
like a
powerful
total
can that be in
stranger.
business?
He makes a total, for 5 minutes, this guy has a girlfriend, but is in love with Warren Beatty.
So if you could do that with each client that comes into your place, in that little moment of time, you could make them feel like the only person in the world. How powerful is that going to be if you really looked them in the eye?
Oh my God.
Another part of the thing is about your body language. It's actually your body language. The way people's mind perceive it is your body language is actually more powerful than what you speak, than what the words are you have to say. She was telling a story in her book how she got mesmerized by this older gentleman that was giving a speech, and his body was so dynamic and on and on. She stood for an hour, and it was in an outdoor place, and the crowd got bigger and bigger and bigger. People were just really watching him. She stood there for an hour listening to this gentleman, and he was speaking in Spanish. She didn't have a clue what he had said.
Whoa.
He was just so dynamic from the way his body language was. So you've got to keep all of these things in mind. I'm still in the infancy of learning all this stuff, but I can't get enough of it. I just think there's something to it in our businesses. Like we said before, we've got to know all the book stuff, but if we can't connect with that person first, that book stuff's not going to make any difference whatsoever. Okay, so that's charisma for this time.